Somebody, somebody left me a message. All right, home. Let's get our text moving. Okay. We're all set. Text to speech, video, mic, music. We got it all going on. All right. Good morning, everybody. Monday morning. It is 24 degrees here in Hampstead. It's pretty cold, but it's going to get warmer and warmer for the rest of the year from now on. I predict it. Yeah, so here we go. Let's get out there and pursue some happiness. I'm going to drink a sip of coffee here. Lights on for safety. Oh yeah, coffee. I love it. Here we go. I got 3 deliveries today. They're all in the van. And we're ready to roll. One trip, one big circle. We got full tank of gas. Life is good. We're going to get right out here. They're going to get a green light, aren't they? Yeah, they did. I could have gone. I could have rolled through there, but I didn't do it. It's Monday morning. Let's let the commuters be on their way. You know, there are a lot of cubicles downtown waiting for these people. Flying. I don't like to jump out in front of these people because you never know. Could have gone there. Oh, I do have a guy behind me though. I should probably go. This guy behind me. He was sitting behind me at the light, and if you were in your car, you probably would have gone. But I got a boxes back there. You know what I mean? I can't be jerking this van around. You know what I'm saying? We got a full moon.
I feel like this is going to be the best trip ever. Good morning.
I totally agree with you. Good morning. How are you? Happy Monday. Bright moon out there. Bright moon. Off to my right. Yeah, look at that line of traffic. Look at them all. Look at them all up there. Looks like an army of ants from the sky. It would look like that.
Quincy says, is that the same moon from John's adventure?
John's adventure? It would be the same moon, I suspect. What did he? Oh, yeah. You know what? I did see the moon last night. Wow. Wow, that's right. I remember that even when I was watching, there was some moon action. I don't know what time I fell asleep last night. I don't even know. But that's right. Yeah, it's the same moon. It looks like it's almost full. Like there's a tiny little section of it Like, I'm thinking maybe today is officially the full moon day. Like when it comes up tonight, it'll be full. Maybe. I don't know.
Team C says no worries. I won't tell John that he puts you to sleep.
I know. I feel bad. I really tried because I must have gone to sleep pretty early. See what I mean? I know I'm in trouble. Well, like if I take the phone and I lay down, I'm just like watching his stream while I'm kind of laying in bed with the phone. I mean, then it's never going to really go that long. But I really wanted to make it last night. I thought it was going to end at like 8 or 9. I thought I could do it. But Sunday night is the end of my I have 3 days when I work longer at the bakery. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I do the and then I I do some work at the bakery on those 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I just drive. So usually by the end of Sunday, especially because I got some stuff done around the house yesterday too. So I was pretty tired, but I got a good night's sleep. Mookie, when do you sleep? Like, come to think of it, you're watching the two extremes. Well, no, I guess Aaron is. I never get to see Aaron. I always hear John talk about having people watch Aaron after he gets off, but I never make it that late. Sometimes Aaron is still on when I get up. Oh. Wow. This is an active little circle for this time of the morning.
Team C says what will happen with the Christmas decoration contest if he takes down 10 or so decorations at a time and spreads it out.
I know. It's going to be a cliffhanger. I don't know. It's going to make it difficult to decide exactly what day is the official ending. Because I do feel like there's going to be more down today. It was sunny. Well, it wasn't like bright sunny, but it was a decent day yesterday. It wasn't too cold. I'm sure you got out there and did some. Maybe he did it all. You never know. We're going to find out. I was gonna.
Team C says I will get a few hours of sleep after your stream and before I go to work at around 4 p.m. At justicat.cs2 says hi goody morning Craig. At you can see you both missed it out. John got a shot of the moon with huge cloud angel wings and smiling eyes and nose.
Is that on his stream? When did he do that? At the end? I saw how did I miss that? I thought I was online almost to the end. When did that happen? I'm going to have to catch his replay.
Justacat.cs2 says yes. At Justacat.cs2 says it was the coolest amongst cool.
I mean, I still see the moon. The moon is like, it hasn't set yet. I can't really, look, I shouldn't be doing this. Stay with me. I don't know if you can see that or not. Do you see it out the window? I don't know if you can see it or not. I can't really focus.
King says, I did miss it, I guess. Good morning. At Justacat.cs2.
Can you?
At Justacat.cs2 says near the end. This hat huge. Cloud wings.
Huh. I didn't see that. All right, I'm gonna have to check out his replay this morning. It is a bit. I think it's a full moon, or it's very close.
King C says we see the moon.
Oh, that's
Nice.
good. That's good. Yeah, so you catch it on the way up with John, and you catch it on the way down with me. Getting ready to set.
Justacat.cs2 says ooh, a bright, beautiful moon.
But I don't have wings on mine. Were they clouds? Like, did he put wings on the screen, or did, you know, like with one of those? I can't see John doing that, though. He's not an AI guy. I don't see him putting anything fake on his live stream.
Justacat.cs2 says yeah, the clouds align perfectly.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I gotta check that out. When I was using Prism, I mean, it might be a capability in YouTube also.
Justacat.cs2 says it had bug GUIs and a nose too.
Well, when I was using Prism, they had like those filters you could put on that would make it look like you had, you know, a hat or something like that. And one of the filters had like a beard and a mustache, like facial hair. It actually looked really real when I tested it out. Probably put a beard on the moon. Car's taillights kind of look like eyes looking at me. I think that's a Mustang.
Justicat.cs2 says, did Mookie MC win? Is the Christmas lawn still up? At Mookie MC says, get a screen grab of your moon and make a post of it with a beard, and tell John your moon is cooler than his.
I like that idea. I like that idea. Yeah, I might have to do something like that.
Cat.cs2 says, LOL, it's so funny. At Mookie MC.
Maybe I could take a screenshot of his and a screenshot of mine.
The contest continues at Justicat.cs2.
Yeah, it had yesterday. A couple things had been taken away, and a bunch of them had been knocked down. I almost used a picture of the decoration house for my thumbnail yesterday, but it kind of looked like a Christmas killing field. Like it's just everything's just laying down. It's starting to look. It didn't look good, so I didn't like that. But yeah, so that's still on. The question today is, like, is he going to be taking down a little bit at a time? And if so, it's going to kind of drag out it's going to be very suspenseful. Just what day will he finally get to the end? Or maybe it'll all be gone. Or maybe nothing. You never know. But back to this moon idea. I like that, Mookie. I like it. I might take a screen grab of his and a screenshot of mine and put them side by side and just say, like, which is cooler, and post it. I'll do like a poll. Yeah, that's what I could do. I'll do a poll. Say which is cooler. That would drive John crazy because as soon as he sees a moon with like some AI features on it, he's gonna get excited about that. Oh, there's the moon. Look, I don't even have to do anything to the camera. It's right there. My clouds are starting to move in. Look, it almost has wings. I have clouds on both sides of it. Does that count?
MC says the warm weather may speed up the decoration removal.
Yeah.
Is there rain in the forecast?
Well, that's a good question. Today it's going to get progressively colder, right? So today it's still pretty cold. Right now it's 27 degrees. But it is going to get progressively warmer.
Justicat.cs2 says, yeah, you got two little wings.
How? See? Today we're supposed to get possibly some snow, believe it or not. Like, a little bit this afternoon. Because it's going to warm up a little bit, but I think we're still going to be in the 30s this afternoon. And then after today, it's going to progress. I think today and tomorrow, we're still like in the wintry type of thing. But yeah, it's going to get progressively warmer after that. I think in like a few days, we're going to be 70. It's pretty crazy. So that groundhog was wrong. I gotta remember this moon thing. Mookie, you cracked me up yesterday. I meant to tell you. When you were talking about your bragging, but then when you sent the message that said subject bragging, that cracked me up. Subject bragging. Oh my gosh. Here we go. 6 miles, 6 minutes. Traffic's a little heavy, but looks like it's still going to get there on time.
Justicat.cs2 says that Mookie C is going to win.
Yeah, I haven't put the dates together yet. What day?
Justicat.cs2 says I knows it.
What day what day was Mookie's pick?
Team C says that is more of me being silly. I'm glad that you get my sense of humor.
Oh my goodness, I was laughing on that one. This is pretty heavy traffic for 5:30 in the morning.
He says it's like Amelia Earhart. It makes no sense, but funny anyway.
Sometimes things just hit me and I can't even control myself. I was always bad in company meetings. And I had to attend a lot of them, but there were times I could not make eye contact with certain people.
Justicat.cs2 says lol, I'll have to go back and watch. Says I saw you made a guess. What date did you pick? At Justicat.cs2. At Justicat.cs2 says I had to full reads and only copy in. Justicat.cs2 says I picked April 1st at Mookie C.
April Fool's Day.
Parking C says that's a solid guess.
Yeah, see how that traffic going off to the right? Always much heavier. Where would this person be going? There's no place to make a right-hand turn anytime soon. This ought to be interesting. Oh, go. Change his mind. Somebody walking across the street up there.
JustACat.cs2 says I changed my name to Missing Glove last night, but I didn't like the way of it being one word.
You changed your name to Missing Glove? Missing Glove. I like the time somebody misspelled your name in the chat. Missing glove. Yeah, that's a long word. If you here we go. What's the truck? Famous.
JustACat.cs2 says YAA, that was great. Lol.
Oh, look, that car that's over here. Wow, that snow. The huge pile is basically gone. I like it. Around. Oh, I got a box I need to.
Cat.cs2 says guess Prius wasn't under there after all.
No. All right, here we go. Box, take it in there. We're getting 3 little fruit tarts for somebody.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Thank you very much. This over here. Yeah, it's a little chilly out there. I think it's going to get, in the next couple of days, it's going to really warm up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be warm later today, right?
Yeah, 30s.
I'm
Yeah.
going to see what I put on.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be good.
I'll be good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I start with it on my day.
I think you will be all right. They said it might even see a little bit of snow.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow, right? Ice.
A little this afternoon, and then tomorrow morning, a little ice.
Ice.
Yeah. Ice is not good. Yeah, it is. This rack is super loud. Super loud. An ice machine. I heard that. It does, actually. It's heavier, too. Like it's a heavier metal. The other one must be hollow. Good morning. Sometimes they're there. I don't know if it'll be there, but we can look.
Me?
Never know on Mondays.
Yeah, sometimes we come on Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah. At least we can say we. Really? Wow. Well, that's good. That's me. All right, thank you. Yeah, glad we looked. All right, man. Have a good one.
All right.
All right, man. Cleaning up the parking lot. All right. Wow, somebody's making bacon. Somebody's making bacon. Look, we got a check. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here comes the cleaning thing again. He doesn't have the. Shouldn't he have the little brush?
Team C says I enjoy the changing of the seasons and winter snow, but only in moderation. We have had enough of winter. At justacat.cs2 says sweet.
Yeah, I think we should all be proud that we survived this winter. It was not easy. I mean, it really was one of the coldest winters we've had for a while. And it was cold for a long period of time. It wasn't like a couple of days. It was cold for weeks. I mean, cold, like freezing, like 20 and below. We're a little early today. I hope the gourmet girls are there. Flock together. Did you see that truck go by with the Ravens flags on the back?
Team C says do you have to do a lot of behind the scenes moderating in John's stream, or are people generally well behaved? At justacat.cs2 says yeah, I'm ready to complain about summer at Team C lol.
I don't know. John's lately, John's stream has been really good, I think. Remember when we went through it, the toughest time was when we had that person that was like coming in and typing words, but like one letter at a time. Remember that guy or girl or whoever it was? That went on for a little while, and that was the hardest because you couldn't get rid of those messages. That person was so dedicated to their trollhood that they would make a profile in YouTube. They would then, and they'd even use people's pictures and stuff. I mean, they tried to make it look like they were somebody else. And then they would type that, like one letter at a time. And then they would go in real quick and delete their profile. And by deleting their profile, you couldn't remove their message, which was kind of dumb. I mean, they could only do it once. But yeah, that person was, I don't know who it was, but man, they were committed to doing something. But they seem to have faded off. Now it's just every now and then somebody says something. What seems to happen more in John's stream is YouTube will hold up a message that it thinks is inappropriate, but it really isn't. That happens more than actually having a troll. And sometimes people aren't really trolling, they just don't know that there are certain words you're not supposed to use. Or say. And sometimes it's kind of funny, I'll see a message pop up that YouTube has put, for review. So I don't think anybody sees it until you either show it or hide it. That's the choice that I have, show it or hide it. And sometimes I see it and I'm like, I'm going to let John decide on this one. I don't want to decide this one. Not too often, but every now and then there'll be something I'm like, I don't know if I want to. 9 times out of 10 he shows it. It's kind of funny. Oh, it's 5 oh, yeah, they should be there. Let's see, find out. Yeah, the car's there.
C says Summer will get lot of complaints from me as well at justacat.cs2. I am equally offended the entire year.
It's an equal season offender. Alright, let's get these. What are they getting? They're getting mostly cookies and peanut butter candies. The door is locked. The door is locked. We gotta make a phone call. We gotta make a phone call.
Justacat.cs2 says lol yes.
Let's call. Where are we calling? Girls. There we go. There she is. She just opens the door and yells. These boxes are huge. Why are we using these giant? We got boxes the size of a small building. Not quite that big, but. Good morning. Boxes. These are the eclairs. Oh, come on out. right. Have a good day. Okay. 2 down, 1 to go. Here we go. Here's my country music. We're heading out to the country.
Team C says, does the bakery have any competition, and if so, do they have a van and their own Craig?
The competition is, I'm sure there are bakeries, especially down here when you get closer to the city. There's probably something. But up in Hampstead, in the town they're in, there really isn't anything nearby. Of course, I mean, you really can't count Dunkin' Donuts as a competition. It's a whole different thing. So, yeah, in Hampstead, Maryland, they pretty much got the market. I'm trying to think. I can't even really think of any. They've been there for a little while, so they've got a pretty good reputation of having good stuff. Like, I went to the dentist one time after I started driving the van, and I'm sitting in the chair, and the hygienist is cleaning my teeth, and she's talking to me and stuff. And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm making deliveries for Tuco's Bakery." She was like, "Oh my god!" And I mean, and then like 3 or 4 other people came in to say hi, and how excited they were to hear that I was driving for the bakery. So, yeah, they either that or maybe they were buttering me up for bringing in free donuts, which did work. That did actually work, but yeah, they kind of have a reputation. I have seen other vehicles, though. Now that you say that, I have seen other vehicles with bakery logos or names on them around town.
Says it's good to hear that the bakery has good word of mouth while the hygienist was working on yours.
Yeah. Yeah, and my hygienist she's very friendly, very nice girl, lady, whatever. But I always think it's funny that, and she's very talkative. I mean, she'll carry on a whole conversation, but it's hard when you're the patient in the dentist to keep up your end of the conversation. It's not easy. I love my dentist though. I know a lot of people don't like going to the dentist. I actually like going to the dentist. Weird. This is such an odd street to see a city bus on. It feels weird. I feel you're in a neighborhood. Like you're following a mass transit bus. I tried riding a bus.
Team C says your schedule seems to avoid all the school buses.
Yes, it does. Sometimes toward the end of the ride, on the way back to the bakery, I see some. I very rarely get stuck behind a school bus, though. That's true. Oh, look, there's a school bus up there. It's just sitting there, though. As soon as you said we avoid school buses, I drive past one. Oh, give me room? I think you did. Whoa, yeah. I did actually ride a mass transit bus for a little while when I was working downtown. I would take the subway, but
Team C says I should have not mentioned it.
I lived like 3 miles away from the subway station, and there was a bus route. I would walk to the bus stop, and if I took the bus, so I tried to do that for a while. I went through this phase, try to be, totally mass transit user. See how little, how I can avoid driving as much as possible. I don't know. I went through some kind of weird phase. So I did that for a while, but it just was it was too inconvenient. Some of the people on the bus were freaking me out, so. lot of humps on this road. A lot of humps.
Justicat.cs2 says I missed it. Had to yell at Bogey to come inside and I got water.
What'd you miss? You didn't miss much. We just been driving.
Michael.333 says good morning, Cat and Craig.
Good morning. NY Gal in the van. Happy Monday morning to all.
333 says in the city today. At Justicat.cs2 says good morning at Nigel.333. At NewKingC says I think my list of worst to least freaked out would be bus, subway, train and then airplane people.
Yeah, that's about right. I would totally agree with that. Bus, subway, train and airplane. Well, I guess it depends on what type of train. Like
at NewKingC says good morning at Nigel.333.
The Acela, like for work, I used to take the train to New York a lot, from Baltimore to New York, and we took the Acela, which got you up there in like, I don't remember, 2.5, 3 hours maybe, 2-3 hours, something like that. It was a fast train. That train was okay, because it was mostly business people on it, and it wasn't people that are looking for an inexpensive trip.
Michael.333 says how is everyone doing? It is 6 degrees outside.
6? Whoa. What do I have here? We're 28 in Maryland. Wow. That's quite a difference. Yeah, the morning's going good here. Got clear skies. We had the moon earlier. Deliveries are going smoothly. I think you asked if I was in the city. I'm not really in the city. We're headed out now, but we were closer, like on the outskirts of the city.
NewKingC says 22 outside of Pittsburgh, but hitting 70 degrees by Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, by then, yes. I think that's similar to what we've got. It's going to be warming up. All right. I want to go. Where is this person? There we go. We might get a little bit of snow today. I mean, it was clear this morning. It's getting a little cloudy now. I think some showers, which will be in the form of snow, because we're not warming up too much today. But it's March, so I'm very happy that it's March. Are there any holidays in Patrick's Day? Same thing. Car with no lights on.
Nigel.333 says you live in Pitt. I love Pitt, went to grad school there. At Nigel.333 says I'm a Steelers fan. At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says sometimes Easter but not this year.
Oh yeah, that's true. It could be, right. Easter is holding off until April.
Team C says we have a new coach. At Nigel.333.
Baltimore doesn't have a lot of Steelers fans. I know that.
Nigel.333 says I know and not too thrilled about it. At Hollis6448 says good morning everyone.
Holla, welcome to the van.
Team C says good morning. At Hollis6448 and at Cameron's Ways Double Hazy. Cat.cs2 says HII good morning at Hollis 6448 at Cameron's Ways Double Hazy.
I really do.
Nigel.333 says good morning Holla. At Hollis6448 says it's chilling again this morning.
Yeah, it is. It is. Dipping down a little bit today and tomorrow. And then it's going
Team
to...
C says yes. At Nigel.333 it will be a big adjustment, and I'm not sure how well it's going to work out. At Nigel.333 says our snow OS almost all melted though.
Ours did too. Supposedly, we might get enough this afternoon to cover the ground, but it won't last very long.
Pickle.333 says, Mookie, I've lost all hope for a win at this point. Nicholas6448 says, hello Mookie. Just a cat, and NY gal.
Hala, do you have any live stream plans? What's your next adventure? You gonna do the St. Patrick's Day parade? That's a pretty big one.
Team C says, wave the terrible towel extra hard, at Nigel.333. Nigel.333 says, haha yes. Nigel.333 says, plans for today, Craig.
Well, I only have to drive today, so I'm going to have some time this morning. I think I might try to actually get some of my editing stuff done. Maybe get a video posted. I haven't posted a video or anything for a while, and I feel bad about that. So I want to do that. Maybe play around with my gimbal. I think it's going to be cold and kind of nasty later, so I'll do some indoor stuff today.
Nigel.333 says, did you show your donut load today? I enjoy seeing it.
I haven't, but I could video. I could take you guys out and show you the donuts at this last stop, because they get more donuts than the rest anyway. Lenny's had their normal cookies and Danish.
6448 says, I use Sally do several St. Patrick's parades. They have them all month, every weekend, all month. At Nigel.333 says, yes, the cargo.
The cargo. Yeah, Lenny's didn't have any refrigerated stuff today. Like, I just thought of that. They didn't have any eclairs. Their delivery was mainly the Danishes, cookies. What else did they have? They had a couple of fruit tarts. I think the fruit tarts were for a particular order, like a client, one of their customers probably asked for them, because they don't usually get fruit tarts.
Cat.cs2 says 3 fruit tarts.
Fruit tarts are good. I think the person that bought them employee there. There's a guy that works there that usually orders them. Sometimes he comes up to the bakery and buys them at the bakery. gotta brush AJ. AJ needs to be brushed. Yesterday, he's getting antsy. Yesterday, he was focused on the ball. I think, ever since the snow melted, now he's found the tennis balls that were in the backyard. So he brings them in now whenever he wants to play. And he was doing that quite a bit yesterday. And then when I'm on the treadmill and on the computer, I can see out the window to my driveway. And he was out there pacing up and down on the driveway with a tennis ball in his mouth. I think he knows that I could see him. So I'm sure I'll spend a little time with him.
6448 says, do you have a way to keep those things cool in the summer? Or is your route not long enough for that to be a concern?
It isn't. I am able to get like the cakes and the eclairs, the things that need to be cool, especially because you don't want the chocolate melting. That's the one thing you got to be concerned about. Like sometimes if it gets hot, it can't be hot in the van. So in the summertime, in hot weather, I do have to run the air conditioner in the van, keep it pretty cool. But as long as it's cool, at least, a comfortable temperature, the trip is short enough to land in places like that melting is not a problem. But you do have to think about it. It is definitely something you got to be concerned about. Because even like cake pops and the things that, anything that like has a chocolate or a candy shell on it, you can't let that stuff get too warm.
Plus 6448 says he wants to play. It's be a long winter for him.
It has been a long winter for him. You're right. I mean, it got so bad we were playing inside for a while. Like, literally throwing the ball across the room. I knew they would have seen me today. They saw me. All right, let me go get the tray. Good morning. Just walked into the door. Good morning. How are you? I'm good. Morning. Another day. Oh. What are you doing there? You're working on pastries, I see. You could work at the bakery.
No, it's buying a frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuff around. Get these trays off of here, and then I will All right. Put them up over here. I'll show them to you. He's a groupie. Are you guys trying to vandalize the wall? Grab you guys here for a second. I'll show you the donuts.
I guess we are well I am.
Here we go. Here we go. We're on the move. So here, check them out. That's Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles crushed up. What do we have in here? Yeah. Look at these cream-filled ones up here. Look at that cream-filled donut. Woo! And then that's Oreos crushed up on there. Mm-hmm. Cinnamon. Heath. There, there's cinnamon. I mean, look at that thing. It's huge. And then there's the little mini Danish. Look at that pile of coconut. I mean, seriously. Good stuff. Sun's coming up there. Those airplanes again. I don't know if you can see them. All right, let me get these.
.3337.
All right. All right. Have a great day. See you later. We need to paint something on that wall. Is that what you guys are talking about? All right. Back to the bakery.
Paula6448 says, Craig, you're a strong man having them on board and resisting the temptation to eat them.
It, that's true. That's true. It isn't easy. It's not easy at all. Somebody's got to do it. Good to go.
Alice 6448 says maybe some diamond art. Can that be done on an outside wall?
Whoa, that would take a while. I wonder how many. Are you talking about that that painting that NY Gal does? I think that's pretty amazing. I mean, we figured out the other day how many little diamonds were in that one painting, and it was like 11,000. 11,000 times. You're putting. That's
333
crazy.
says I am sure there's strong enough adhesive somewhere to do that now.
That would be millions of diamonds. Gallons of adhesive.
Alice 6448 says yes, but with bigger diamonds. At Nigel.333 says I might go live today while little one in school asleep LMAO.
Are you working on another painting? I mean, a new one?
Nigel.333 says yup, the last one in house did a block last night. Alice 6448 says that would be cool if you do.
This morning, I saw, when I signed on to YouTube this morning, one of the recommended videos was I've never seen her before. Somebody, I think her name's Dana, like door dashing with Dana. You know, I get all the DoorDash videos are usually recommended now, but I think it's door dashing with Dana, and I think she's just recently started. But she's somewhere outside of Pittsburgh. I think she was talking about one town she doesn't really drive into. I think she said Youngstown, which I think is outside of Pittsburgh, right? But anyway, I watched her for a couple minutes just because the stream came up and I was like, oh, what is this? So I hopped in and looked at her, and she was just sitting. She wasn't working on an order. This, of course, this was like 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, 3:30. So, but the reason I bring it up is somebody asked her why she started streaming. I think she just recently started streaming. And she said,
6448 says yes. I found her last week.
oh, you've seen her? She's pretty. The funny thing was, so they asked her why she started streaming, and she said because she's like, hey, I thought, well, I'm out here driving, and I know
says cool, haven't seen it.
She's like, people watch anything. She said, she's like, I think she said her mother watches some guy cut the grass, and somebody else was watching, somebody else she said was watching. I don't remember what the second. I thought the cutting the grass was funny. It actually gave me an idea. Like maybe I'll live stream when I cut the grass.
Team C says Youngstown is in Ohio and sits sort of in between Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Then it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't Youngstown. Is there a Young something? Because I looked it up. Of course, whenever somebody says, I went on to Google Maps. It was like maybe east of Pittsburgh, maybe a little southeast of Pittsburgh. Young something. I thought it was Youngstown. This was definitely in Pennsylvania.
Ways Double Hazy says sounds like I should start streaming when I do laundry.
Hey, you could probably have, as long as you were, maybe explaining what you were doing as you're folding. I mean, I started because I liked watching people drive.
6448 says Young Hearts be free tonight.
Maybe not Youngstown. What was it? If it wasn't Youngstown, can't think of the name. And then somebody asked her, like, if she is worried about, like, driving throughout the night. Like, does she worry about sketchy people and stuff like that? And she's like, no. I think she said she recently bought pepper spray or something, so she's prepared. But she's like, I would. And then I was getting ready to, like, I had to get ready to leave anyway, so I was getting ready to sign off. And the last thing I heard her say was, she's like, no, I'm not really worried. She's like, I can take care of myself. I'm not afraid to knee a guy in the crotch or gouge somebody's eyes out.
6448 says you should Cameron. Sylvie do laundry later. At Team C says I started watching a guy who clears storm drains, and when the clog is cleared and the water rushes down the drain, I find it very satisfying.
Yeah, it is kind of, I mean, what's the other thing that everybody watches? Oh, power washing. You ever seen that guy that, like, goes around and power washes people's sidewalks and stuff? I've seen that. And I've watched that a couple times. Like, I think he does it for free, just so that he can live stream. I don't know if he's live streaming. I think he's creating videos.
333 says I used to watch a guy cut wood LMAO.
It's funny. It is kind of funny. Oh.
333 says, but he was really good looking and wore suspenders.
No shirt. Oh my goodness. That's funny.
6448 says I can't remember the name either, but she had spoke of it earlier in her streams.
I think it's.
She says lol. Steady.
I
At
think
Nigel.333 says times no shirt and had a tattoo of a lighthouse. I was in heaven.
oh my god. Oh my goodness. That's funny.
Cat.cs2 says who's this?
Who's this? What do you mean? Who's this?
Nigel.333 says I thought he fell from heavens just for my viewing pleasure LMAO.
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
Team C says you have very specific tastes. At Nigel.333. At Justicat.cs2 says I wanna see. At Nigel.333 says he van cut my wood any day. At Nigel.333 says Mookie LMAO.
Mookie's gonna go out and get a tattoo of a lighthouse. And buy a pair of suspenders. That's gonna be our new. I'm gonna go get some suspenders. Apparently that's a thing. That would be funny.
Sideways Double Hazy says this conversation could go completely sideways very easily.
Yeah, I think it already has.
333 says do it LMAO.
Oh my gosh. I had suspenders when I was little. When I was a little kid, I remember wearing suspenders.
+6448 says did he use an axe or power tools? At Nigel.333 says I am sorry lol I was just saying. At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says I have several comments of like to make but it is a family live stream.
I'm sure he had an axe. He was probably not using a power tool. Well, they're definitely the thumbnails that'll get attention. People click on those thumbnails pretty quick.
Team C says lighthouse tattoo, suspenders and an axe. I'm on it. At Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says oh, he had a power tool. At Paula6448 says do they still fit? At Nigel.333 says axes and tested out different brands and such he is a lumberjack. At Nigel.333 says Mookie.
Do my suspenders still fit? Was that the question? No. I mean, when I was wearing suspenders, I was like 5 or 6 years old, I think. Very, very little. I remember corduroy pants. Actually, I still have a pair of corduroy pants, but I remember corduroy pants, and then I remember my mom would get like our knees would, you get the holes in the knees and stuff, and she would get these patches and iron the patches. I mean, you sound like we were poor. We weren't really poor, but that's funny. Back in the day, you could make a pair of pants last forever.
Cameron's Ways Double Hazy says at least you were new.
Oh, as opposed to hand-me-downs? Is that what you're saying? That's probably why they got repaired, so they could use later.
Cameron Squeeze Double Hazy says bingo.
That's funny. I never thought about that.
Cameron Squeeze Double Hazy says by the time I got them they were literally Craigs. At Michael.333 says glad to make you laugh this morning.
Oh. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God.
Michael.333 says I think you just passed a wild lumberjack, turn around. At Holler6448 says is someone tickling Craig?
I know. I don't know what's happening to me. Oh. I have these outbursts. Woo. Cows are out. The cows are out.
At C says it must be this stretch of road.
It does. Yeah, I think it is. You're right. Oh my God.
Michael.333 says outbursts lol is called moment of happiness. At Hollis6448 says seems you're having a moment. Maybe you should pull over.
Sometimes it's that bad. Amelia got me going. Amelia Earhart. I haven't had a laugh like Amelia Earhart's.
Cameron Squeeze Double Hazy says keep an eye out for a suspender wearing dairy farmer.
I don't know if a dairy farmer is going to have the same physique. It's a different set of muscles needed to be a dairy farmer. All right, we're almost there. We're almost to the Christmas tree place.
Cameron Squeeze Double Hazy says to each his own.
All right, I don't have anybody behind me, so we can slow down here. What's going to be? What's it going to be? The moment of truth is coming. Nope, I still see stuff. I don't think it changed much since yesterday. No. All right, here we go. Here we go. It's still there. A little bit more is gone. A little more is gone. All right, he made a little progress yesterday. So now, well, I don't think he's going to do anything today. Because even though it looks nice now, I think it's going to get a little cloudy. We're going to get the snow, showers, nothing big, but...
6448 says use caution if they have a blue and black mismatched gloves. At Cameron Squeeze Double Hazy says hey, that one Santa had suspenders. At Nigel.333 says I think he found Santa's actual residence.
Was there a shirtless? I snorted there for a second. Did you hear that? Was there a shirtless Santa? That's what we need. That'll get the news. We should do that. Maybe I should. Oh, no. I always tell John he should drive. He should drive. Of course, now he doesn't need it anymore. He gets enough to use now. I remember when, like, he was like 50 people were a lot of people. You know, like that was an exciting time. Oh, you got 50 people. Now he gets 50 people within like 30 seconds of going live. Oh, goodness.
6448 says actually I think Santa did wear suspenders but no lighthouse tattoo.
Yeah, you're right. No, really, the real
At
Santa
UTC
did wear
says
suspenders.
A shirtless Santa with an elf tattoo and holding a large candy cane. At Auburn White says good morning.
Hey, Sean. Good morning. Happy Monday. I saw a replay of yours, Sean, that was like 30 minutes. I'm like, what is this? I thought, did you make a video? But it looks like it was the end of one of your streams.
Michael.333 says good morning off. At Mukim C says good morning. At Option White. At Hollis6448 says the real Santa. Do you still believe Craig?
Do I still believe in Santa? Yeah. I mean, I watched that NORAD thing, so I think that means it's real, right? You know, you can go online Christmas Eve night.
6448 says good morning, Sean. At Nigel.333 says I believe because I wish he was real law.
I mean, basically, NORAD does like a live stream of him every year as he flies across the planet. I think that means it's real.
Cat.cs2 says good morning at Option White. At Option White says Craig works for him.
I work. That would make my title some level of elfhood.
333 says haha that is true, Craigie is on video.
Every year. So that's I think that's proof enough that he exists. All right, so I'm glad that the decorations are still there because it gives me time. Today, I've got to get that done today. I want to put the list together of everybody's guesses.
Sean White says head elf. At Mukim C says the Santa tracker cannot be wrong. It uses AI.
That's right. I wonder what AI would say if you asked whether Santa Claus was real or not. Because you know a child is going to do that. I'm sure they already have. So what would Chat GPT say if you asked if Santa Claus was real? I'm sure it would be some clever carefully worded answer. Here we go. Here we go. We're going into the tunnel.
Still open. At Mukimc says if you believe it is art, then it's very real. At Hollis6448 says I think it would say, ask your mother.
Oh, that would be a good answer. Ask your mother would be a good answer. Yeah, you're talking like AI now.
John White says morning everyone.
Good morning. Did I stay connected? Did we survive the tunnel of doom?
Hollis6448 says that's what my dad always said on such things.
That's always a safe answer. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, don't laugh at me, guys, but the reason that I just did the windshield wipers was because that's how I put my car in reverse. It's on the dash. I mean, it's on the steering column, not on the... Tell you what. All right. Another successful trip. All right, everybody. I got to get running in the bakery, but it was good seeing everybody. Thank you for riding along.
Hollis6448 says I thought you were anticipating the upcoming rain. At Michael.333 says hope you have a great day. At Mukimc says thanks for the ride, Craig. Today I learned that at Nigel.333 has a very interesting YouTube playlist.
That's a good point. I think you can always learn a lot about a person.
6448 says take care everyone.
You can learn a lot about a person by their YouTube playlist.
At Nigel.333 says ha ha ha, it wasn't YouTube, it was TikTok.
Oh, goodness. So you were scrolling. All right, everybody. Tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, will be one delivery, usually on Tuesdays. You never know for sure, but that's the standard.
Cat.cs2 says take care everyone.
All right,
At Nigel.333 says it was RHE only person I watched for like a week. Stop LMFAO. At Hollis6448 says keep laughing everyone.
All right, I will. For some reason, I feel like I will. All right, everybody. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.